welcome or welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a January faves list. This is kind of like a new series I wanted to try to do every month or almost every month, because sometimes I may, not watch or consume much in that month. I'm going to talk about my favorite things that I've consumed this month when it comes to like movies, TV show, books, and music, and maybe like whatever else I discover along the year. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about all my favorites for this month because I think that there's been a lot of good things, and I think there's going to be a lot of good things to come this year. So I'm excited to watch and read and do all those things this year. But let's get started with the video. So first, I think I want to do the music first, because sometimes I don't listen to a lot of music depending like what I'm doing, like if I have too much homework or like stuff like that. This month I didn't have like a lot of favorites that I've listened to, but I do have some. I have a list on my phone, by the way, of all my favorites so that I can remember them. Oh, I thought it erased my notes. I'm gonna do this in order of when they came out, or at least when I think they came out, because I don't really remember. But for the first favorite song that I have is Slim Pickens by Sabrina Carpenter. As you guys may know, I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter fan. I have been since I've gotten more into her music during Emails I Can't Send. And then I started, following up on her, like her music and stuff like that. On this album, her newest album, Short and Sweet, there's a song called Slim Pickens on there by her, and it's just great. I love it. It's a little country-ish, and I don't really like country music, but I just think this song is great. I do agree with the people who say that Emails I Can't Send was better than this album, but I mean, the album still had all great songs on it, but Slim Pickens has been my favorite since I first listened to the album, and it still continues to be my favorite. Like I will just listen to that song throughout the day if I want. Like it's just always playing in my head. Okay, next we have Ego by Halsey. Now I don't really listen, at least when I was younger I kind of listened to Halsey's music, but I haven't really listened to Halsey like that much throughout my life. But they came out with a new album, I don't know when, but it was like a couple months ago. I listened to Ego because Halsey performed that. I'm pretty sure Halsey performed that on whatever award show it was. Oh, it was the MTV Awards, that's what it was. And I was just like, oh, this song, like it literally is so good. That album is like kind of underrated because I feel like a lot of people didn't like it, maybe because it's too slow or whatever, but I think Halsey has some good songs on there. Okay, for the next song that I have is Echo by the Marias. I didn't know who the Marias were. I don't think I did until maybe 2 months ago when I was scrolling through TikTok, and then I heard one of their songs and it was just great. I was like, I need to listen, because they came out with a new album recently. I was like, I need to listen to this album because I want to broaden my music taste, because I'm so I feel like I'm one-track minded, but I do listen to a lot of different music, but I listen to the same artist. I feel like I have a couple of the Maria songs on my playlist, but Echo by the Marias is so good. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the song. I'm gonna listen to it real quick. Yeah, so I did a quick little listen to remember. So I just think that that album has her voice is really soothing and nice, and it's just very catchy, and I don't know, I just love that album. Want to listen to more music like that. It's just also I have this thing where I'm I have my playlist where I put all my songs in it, because sometimes I just want to listen to everything, but sometimes that's just too much because I just skip through it, especially if I add new songs to my playlist. I'll skip it because I'm I want to listen to a song that I know the lyrics to. So I should just learn the lyrics of the song, but I just don't do that. Now, the last song that we have is, I'm not going to try to butcher this. I don't know if I should say this, but Nueva York by Bad Bunny. He just came out with an album recently, and I've only listened to the first 3 songs of the album. Well, okay, that's a lie. With my friends, I listened to more of the songs on the album, but like I didn't listen to them by myself. But I'm not a Spanish speaker. I'm trying to learn Spanish, but it's just so hard. I listened to the Bad Bunny song, and then I translated it to English so that I can, know what the song's talking about. And it's all about New York. The song's just really good. I think Bad Bunny does a great job at making hype music, and I want to listen to him more. And I want to broaden not only my music taste, but also like my because I only usually listen to English speaking music, but I also want to listen to like other countries, like Puerto Rican music, K-pop, maybe country. Joke, no, okay. Bad Bunny. I watched his interview on, it was Jimmy Fallon, and he's just so funny, and I love how he brings his culture to everything he does. So that's it for my favorite songs that I've listened to / albums a little bit that I've listened to this month. I do have like some other songs, but they're like songs that I don't really know well, but like I like the beat of them. Like I listened to Rosie's album, and she had quite a few good songs on there that I have added to my playlist, but I don't remember them. Not that I don't remember them, I just don't know them well enough to say that they're my favorites yet, If you guys have any recommendations for me for music artists, I'm down to listen to whatever. It can be country, but like not too country, if you know what I mean. Now we're going to move on to, I think we're gonna move on to the movies that I watched this year. I mean this month, because I have some great movies that I want to talk about. So the first movie that we're going to be talking about that's been one of my favorites is Elementals. In 2024, I tried to watch Elementals, but I guess I was watching it when I was tired, so I fell asleep and I didn't finish the whole movie. But I liked it. I liked what I was watching when I was watching it. Then this year, I don't remember when it was, my baby cousins came over. We watched Elemental together because we wanted to watch a movie, and it was just great. Like a cute little romance movie, but also having like that underlying meaning that children won't get, I guess. But like once you watch it when you're older, you understand it, For a minute there, I thought that, spoiler, for a minute there, I thought the water guy, whatever his name was, I don't remember, was going to die or whatever. I don't know. Like I thought the movie was sad for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I've heard people say it was a sad movie, but he came back, so I was like, oh, I'm glad, because I hate a movie with a bad ending, with a sad ending. But I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to watch more movies that make me sad, to be comfortable with being sad. That movie was great. I rated it a 9 out of 10. I'm making a list of all the movies I've watched and TV shows I've watched in 2025. This year I'm doing it again. So Elementals was the first movie that I watched in 2025. Okay, for the next movie that I have, it's the infamous Pitch Perfect. I know like everyone grew up on Pitch Perfect, but I never watched Pitch Perfect until my senior year of high school. I was watching it. I watched it for the first time in my dance class. I remember because I was also watching my phone at the same time. I remember just like tuning in and out of the movie, and I was like, wow, this is so good. And I remember a fun fact about me, I hate throw up. Like it's disgusting. I hate watching it. I hate hearing it. I hate someone saying they're going to, even though they're not going to. I just hate everything about it. So I didn't know there was going to be throw up in the movie, right? Multiple times. But luckily, I heard this girl sitting next to me, she was like talking about like the scene that was happening, and she'd be like, oh, the throw up scene is about to happen or something like that. So I just wouldn't watch that part. Then when I was watching the movie and stuff, it was great. But what did it for me was the riff off. I literally got chills watching it for the first time. It was just great. Literally, it was so good. All the songs they put mashed together, I literally loved. I still get chills watching it. I watched it because I think in one of my previous videos where I showed you what I got during Christmas, I think, and I got the Pitch Perfect movie. I had watched it again, and it was great. It was the same. I got the same thrill watching it. And yeah, I think I rated that. Let me see. I rated Pitch Perfect a 10 out of 10. It could do no wrong. Now, Pitch Perfect 2 and 3. I think I liked Pitch Perfect 3 better than Pitch Perfect 2. But I also wish that the guy that, what's her name, the main character, falls in love with in the first movie, I wish that they, continued into the third movie. But they didn't. I don't know why. I'm not into the lore, but yeah. Alright, we're not going in any type of order for these movies and TV shows, by the way. I'm just gonna, talk about them. The next movie that we have is A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. I watched this movie a long time ago. I watched it again just because I love Cinderella stories. Like the one with Lucy Hale, top tier. The one with Selena Gomez, top tier. As you can see, I got this 4-pack of all the Cinderella movies, the best Cinderella movies. Sophia Carson one I did watch this month, but it wasn't like, it was never gonna hit the same, but it's not bad. I feel like it's a kind of a slept on one. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's funny. But I watched the Hilary Duff one and I was like, this is peak romance. I'm sure she's great. Chad Michael Murray, he's great. Especially when he was younger. Now I don't know about him, but yeah, I don't have much to say about that one. I'll tell you my rating. Okay, I gave A Cinderella Story an 8 out of 10. I really don't remember why. I think I didn't like the ending much. I feel like usually people don't do endings justice. Like they don't do it good. So yeah, that was one of the movies that was like, the ending, I don't know if I like it that much. And there's also, I love this movie because there's a bunch of iconic scenes in it. For the next movie, we have The Prince and Me, starring Julia Stiles, the queen from 10 Things I Hate About You. Now, I wanted to watch this movie because I saw a clip of it on TikTok, and I was like, this is literally giving like 2000s romance movie core, So I was like, oh, I need to watch it. But, I don't have it on any of the streaming services, and I didn't want to watch it illegally just because I didn't want to. I don't know if I can say that. I went to Goodwill with my friends and my sister, and I wanted to look at the DVDs, but I knew that they would have this movie in there because I've seen it there before, and I was like, if I don't get anything at all, this has to be the only thing that I get. And I was able to find it. So I watched it a couple days ago. It wasn't too long ago. I think maybe like last week. And it was great. I literally loved the movie. The acting was a little, it wasn't bad. It just, there was some off points. The writing sometimes were also off points, and like it was a little awkward at times. It was still great. I loved the movie. It was cute, It kind of just gave me like a little bit of Princess Protection Program mixed in with like a Hallmark movie a little bit. Maybe like a little Princess Switch moment. I rated it a 9 out of 10. And I didn't rate it a 10 out of 10 because I did wish the ending was better. Like, there's going to be some spoilers ahead, guys. Just letting you know. The fact that she was like, oh, I can't be your queen because, she wants to accomplish stuff in her life and stuff like that. And then she leaves. And then he comes back on graduation day. I just wish that they would have, like, I don't know, talked about it more. The same thing I wish that they would do in books. But, oh, I will also say I'm not getting the second movie because it's a different, what do you mean it's a different actress? But it's supposed to be the same character? Absolutely not. I hate when movies or TV shows do that. like the Fosters, when Austin, his real name, the guy from Wizards of Waverly Place, was the original and he did great. And then you have freaking Noah Centineo.
So, you're gonna show me how you squirt?
And then they try to make a joke about it. Like, no, I'm sorry, you couldn't have gotten someone shorter or something. Like, guys, we're not stupid. That movie was great. I'm glad I have it. And I also would love more romance recommendation movies to watch because I haven't watched a lot. And I've been a romance book girly instead of a romance movie girly. And I need to become a romance movie girly because I just need to better my life. We have one more movie that I spontaneously watched yesterday night because I was watching one of the shows that I have in my favorites. The last episode it aired, or not the last episode, but one of the episodes aired, and I watched it, and then I saw The Hating Game starring Lucy Hale in it, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna spontaneously watch this. It was like 11 o'clock, and I didn't finish the movie until like 2 something. Lucy Hale can do no wrong. I will watch anything she's in. That's not true, but I have watched Truth or Dare. I know it's based off a book, and I'm pretty sure my friend watched it and said that was one of her favorite movies, if I'm not mistaken. Like a long time ago though, like senior year or junior year, I don't remember. Starring some guy. He's relevant, but I think I've seen him. I feel like I've seen him before because I remember his chapped lips. Or maybe it's just another white guy with chapped lips. I don't know. I just love the banter that they have between each other. It was very fun. Like, I laughed in some of the moments. Very funny. Yeah, the movie was great. It was very long, and I guess I was kind of expecting to get more out of it because it was so long, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was still, a great movie. So I rated it at 8.5 out of 10. I think some moments it was giving me like the Hallmark fakeness of it, which I do love, but also sometimes I'm just like, it's a little much, and sometimes there was like awkward moments. Also, Danny, I'm gonna need Danny to come to the front and stand up because what are you doing? Like I felt bad for Danny. He deserved better. They were so cute. They were cute together, but he was kind of weird. But I just hope he finds his girl that one day. Like, I don't know if there's a second book about it or what, but there should be. I don't know if in the book he was bad or what, but Danny, I just felt bad for you. I think that was his name. Now we're going to get into the TV shows. I tend not to watch much TV shows just because they're so long. I sometimes just don't have the energy. So even though I don't do anything, I've been trying to watch more TV shows as of lately. Like, I watched this show. It's not on my favorites, but I've watched this show called A Discovery of Witches, and I watched the first season. It's on Netflix. I think it got canceled, and there's 2 seasons out. Now, the first season, it was good. The romance kind of weird, but I love the like powers, the witchiness of it. Then the last episode, they go into the past, and I don't want to watch that because it's carrying on to the next season, and I don't want to watch that. So I stopped watching that show. But I've been watching some shows that have been like airing on like CBS and like Hulu, and I've just been keeping up with it. So of course, Honorary Abbott Elementary, I've been watching it since it first came out. That show is great. Funny, of course, I love it. I don't really remember the past seasons, but this season has been great. But that's not my favorites just because, it's a given, it's gonna be a favorite. But I have new shows that I have been watching. The first show that I have is Elsbeth. Both of these shows are like mystery shows because I love shows where it's like each episode is a different crime and then you try to figure out who the murderer is. But Elsbeth is a little bit different because it's like there's a crime that happens and you know who the killer is, but she's solving it. She was like ex-lawyer and now she was a consultant, I think, or something like that. I don't know what she is. I know she's a part of the force now because she's really smart and she already like usually knows who the killer is. She just has to figure out how and why and stuff like that. And I just love her quirkiness in a non-cringy way. I think she's funny and awkward. She kind of reminds me of like Monk, the TV show, and I loved that TV show as a kid, watching it with my grandpa. And I want to watch more shows that are like it, but like I feel like a lot of shows that are like it are like older, and I don't mind watching older, but I don't know them, you know? Okay, for the next show we have is High Potential. It's starring the girl from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've never watched it. That show was great. I randomly started watching it because I saw it on a commercial and I was like, oh, I think I would like this. Morgan, a single mom with 3 kids and an exceptional mind, helps solve an unsolvable crime when she rearranges some evidence during her shift as a cleaner for the police department. So that's basically the gist of what happens. Each episode there's a new crime, and in this show we don't really know who the killer is until the end, but like you can also, you know, of course, make inferences of. So we have Morgan and then we have Detective Karadek, and I just love them together. I hope they end up together. If not, it's okay, because I guess they don't always have to end up together. If they don't end up together, then Daphne and Oz need to end up together, because there has to be some type of romance in the force, you know, in their little bubble, because why am I watching it for any other reason? I'm joking. Yeah, that show's great. Definitely recommend it if you like crime shows, but like lighthearted crime shows. It's not like Law and Order or Criminal Minds or anything like that. It's more lighthearted. I mean, there's still murder in it, so it's not lighthearted, but you know what I mean. We're gonna go on to the books now. Lastly, I read 5 books this month, which I know isn't a lot to some of you guys, but it's not for me, because usually around the beginning of the month, of the year, I start to go into a reading slump. But out of the 5, I've liked 3 of them the best. For the first book that we have that I read, I think this was the second book I read this year, is, of course, I've talked about this in my previous video. If you guys haven't watched it, please go watch it. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book is great. It gives Criminal Minds. I stand Cassie and Leah. She's kind of annoying, but I think she gets better in the later books, so I'm ready to see her adjustment, her character development. But yeah, this first book was great. I literally couldn't put it down. I literally stayed up reading it. Each book has a different murder story that they have to solve, and I love that. There's also a love triangle in it, and I'm pretty sure it might follow throughout the whole series. I'm not sure yet. It's not too love triangle-y where it's like they're annoying. It's not like just pick one, you know? It's like I can see like she's not really playing either of them. She just doesn't know what she wants. I definitely recommend this book. It's great. I also would love recommendations on books that are just like this, maybe with like superpowers, or it could be the same murder concept, like solving murders and stuff, or like just like, you know, superpowers and stuff like that, because I love books and movies and TV shows that are like that. I gave this book 5 stars, of course, and this was my review of it. I said before I even read this book, I knew I was gonna love it. I love the concept of each person having their own quirk that they use to solve cases and perceive people. I do think this book reminds me a lot of Criminal Minds. I was breezing through these pages and could not get enough until the very end. I usually don't like reading about love triangles, but this one was cute and simple, never really made me want to pull my hair out. I'm excited to read the next book. Hopefully they're just as good. Spoiler, they were just as good, at least the second one. For the next book that we have, continue waiting. I don't know if that's a word. Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book is also just as good. I literally love it. I think this murder story was more entertaining but less of a surprise. Like the first book was more of a like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. But this book was kind of like there was more twists and turns in it, but then like the ending of who it was kind of like I'm surprised, but like why, you know? There's still that love triangle in this, but I think she's starting to choose more of who she wants. Now, I really can't tell which choice is the best, honestly. Usually they have that one person where it's you need to be with them. But but then you have that other person where it's like you're kind of doing her dirty. Like, I don't know why she's still like feeding into it, but like this book series, like I can't decide, because both have their own battles, and they're not like sabotaging her ever really, and both just want her to be happy. And I'm like, it's great. I gave it 5 stars as well. I'll read my Goodreads of it. When I first started this book, I thought the second book wouldn't be just as good as the first one, because that's usually how it is. I was completely wrong. I loved this book as well. I think the first one I liked a little bit better just because of the nostalgia of it, but this book was great. I thought the storyline was continued well, and all of the characters showed growth within each other. I still hate love triangles, and I was really having a hard time deciding who she should be with. I knew I would feel some type of way no matter who she chose, but hopefully they will all work through their issues in the next book. I did read like 60 pages of the next book, and so far it was great. I'm gonna reread the book from the beginning because I don't want to like forget things. I have already forgotten things, and I want to remember them. And I think in this book we're gonna hear more about, like, I think her name's Sloane. I think that's her name. And about like her background, and I think we're gonna learn more about the other characters' backgrounds, Cassie and Dean. Now we're going to go to our final book of my favorites of this month. And guys, this book is great. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're into hockey romance, if you're not into hockey romance, understandable. You don't need to read this. It's not very hockey based. It's more based around their own problems and issues. But if you don't want to read hockey at all, don't read it, because there is some hockey talk in it. But I don't know if I've talked about this in my previous videos, but I read this book called Unsteady by Peyton Corin. I just picked it up at a Target randomly. I was like, oh, this book looks interesting, so I'm going to read it. Read it, loved it, it was great. In my opinion, it wasn't like the other, like, Icebreaker, like any of the other books, because I felt like it was more deep in a way. Like, you could tell like the characters had like a lot of problems. Not that the other characters in the other books didn't, but like I just felt it more in this book. The way that they like talk with each other, I feel like it's not giving like children arguing all the time, you know, like how some romance books do, where it's like you guys just need to communicate. I felt like it was like they were always kind of communicating with each other, even if they weren't talking to each other, like if they were arguing. And I just loved that. So that book was great. Then I saw that the author was coming out with a second book, and I was like, oh, I need to cop this. I don't think I talked about this, but like there's this website called NetGalley where I can review books before they get released for like recognition, so like more people can read them and stuff like that. So I saw that the second book of the series was on the website, so I clicked and requested to review the book, and luckily, happily, I was gained access and I was able to get the Kindle reads of the book, because it's only through Kindle reads usually. Now about me, I don't like to read Kindle like on my Kindle, because I feel like it makes me read slower, even though some people say it makes them read faster. But I've been also entering into giveaways on Goodreads for certain books. Like some authors will put their books, like new books, old books, out on for giveaways, and I entered into a giveaway for that book. And luckily, Fate was on my side. I got the book, so it came in the mail. It is this book, Unloved by Peyton Corin. Literally did not want to put this book down. I read 300 pages in a day, which is a lot for me, because I was just like, this book is so good. Like, I love the banter between each other and all of their like the friends that they have between each other. Like, they balance each other really well, and they bounce off of each other really well as well. I think that both of them go through and have gone through a lot of different complications in their lives, and I just love reading about them working it out together. Also, like, this also is a book where it's like they're not like kid fighting with each other. They're like kind of like, oh, I need space, but then they come back to each other. I will say, I think it was better than Unsteady. Unsteady was still good, but this book, you can definitely tell the growth in the author. It kind of gives Collide, but not really at all. This is like made like be up there with one of my favorite books ever. I rated this 5 stars, of course, and I first had to say that if you love the book Unsteady by Peyton Corin, you will love this book just as much. I love that each character has their own flaws and aren't just superficial. I'm also glad that there is still that same type of humor that was in the previous book and is in this one as well. Now for Freddie and Ro, which is the 2 main characters, I literally love these characters. I just want to give them both hugs because I feel for them both. I can definitely tell the growth the author has shown compared to the first book. I have no complaints, and I can greatly say that this is one of my favorite books. I've read a lot of great books this month. Hopefully I can read more. I think my next book read will be Royal Holiday by Jasmine Gilroy. I got this at Goodreads and I was like, oh, it's only $1, like, and it's Jasmine Gilroy. That's gonna be it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about all these books and movies and things and music. I also want to thank you guys for my new subscribers. It's been great. I've been so excited to talk about all things book related, everything that's been going on in my life and stuff like that. There's also going to be more to come, and I'm very excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment some book, music, or TV show, movie recommendations that you have for me, and I will maybe look into them. Also, I've been trying to get into anime, maybe too, so if you have any anime recommendations, that would be great. Romance anime, not like any other type of anime. I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.